Welcome back. In the first part of this program, I gave you 6 rules for engaging in apologetics and evangelization. I want to go over those one more time real quickly before moving on. Those 6 rules of engagement are, number 1, pray. Number 2, you don't have to know everything right now. Just make a commitment to learn a little bit about your faith every day. Number 3, don't be afraid. God is with you. Number 4, don't get angry when someone questions or attacks your faith. Look at it as an opportunity. Number 5, don't get frustrated. And one big way to keep the frustration level down is to focus on one topic at a time, one thing at a time. Don't be bouncing back and forth trying to answer questions on lots of different topics all at the same time. And number 6, never be afraid to say, I don't know. But when asked a question about your faith, but always follow, I don't know, with, but I will find out and get back to you. And then go and find out. You get the answer and get back to them. Now, I'm going to give you 4 strategies or tactics or techniques, whatever you want to call them, that you can use when engaging in apologetics. You can use them individually, all at the same time, or any combination of them. If you learn these, if you adapt these to your particular situation, if you make these strategies your own, I guarantee you that you will be surprised with what you are able to do in the realm of apologetics and evangelization. You'll be out planting seeds of the Catholic faith all over the place. These 4 strategies and techniques are, number 1, the ignorant Catholic. Number 2, being offensive without being offensive. Number 3, it's the principle of the thing. And number 4, but that's my interpretation. Now, I'll get into each of these more in depth and detail as we go through the series, but I want to first mention that these 4 strategies rest on a 2-layered foundation. 2 things that these 4 strategies rest upon and depend upon. And you must not just know these things. You've got to have them seared into your minds, hearts, and souls. These 2 things are, first, the Bible is a Catholic book. The Catholic Church gave it to the world as we have it today. It's ours, folks, so you can rest assured that there is nothing in the Bible from a doctrinal standpoint that is contrary to anything in the Catholic faith. And there is nothing in the Catholic faith that is contrary to anything in the Bible. If you ingrain that fact into your psyches, into your very beings, then you will have the confidence to go out and evangelize anyone. And the second part of the foundation is this. There is an answer for every intelligible question you receive about the Catholic faith. You might not know the answer to a question, but rest assured there is an answer. You just have to go looking for it sometime. And with all the resources we have easily available to us through the internet these days, and organizations like EWTN and Catholic Answers and the Bible Christian Society and many others, there is no reason not to go looking for it. Okay, I gave you those 4 strategies pretty quickly, but I'm going to spend a couple of minutes to give you a quick summary of each. But before I do, let me tell you what we're going to be doing in the next 4 programs. We have 4 apologetic strategies that I just mentioned, and we're going to use the next 4 shows in the series to discuss them more in depth. In each show, I'll discuss 1 or more of these strategies and give you real-world examples of how to use them to talk about, and I'll talk about why they're effective. If you watch these programs and absorb this information and make it your own, I guarantee you, you will have a lot more confidence to go out there and share and defend your faith. You'll be more confident because you'll be better prepared. I'm not just going to talk about the what of apologetics and evangelization. I'm going to talk to you about the how of apologetics and evangelization. I'm going to teach you how to do apologetics in a simple and logical way that is easy to remember, easy to learn, easy to understand, and best of all, easy to duplicate. You will be able to take what you learned by watching these programs and apply it directly in your life in a way that works best for you. Now, as with anything, as you practice these techniques and strategies, you'll get better and better at them. But the thing is, they are so easy and actually fun to use that you will want to go out and start evangelizing just so you can practice using them. It makes apologetics fun. All right, let me give you a quick summary of these 4 strategies. The first one, the ignorant Catholic. This is the same as rule of engagement number 6. All this is not being afraid to say, I don't know, when you're asked a question about your faith. But always follow I don't know with, but I will find out and get back to you. The second strategy, how to be offensive without being offensive. This is all about learning how to ask questions. Catholics are always answering questions, always on the defensive when it comes to our faith and to the Bible. This strategy is about learning how to take the offensive and learning how to ask questions that will cause the other guy to stop and think. The third strategy, it's the principle of the thing. This strategy involves learning how to pull Catholic principles out of Scripture and use those principles to explain the various teachings of the Church. You could say it's about learning how to talk Bible to Bible Christians. And the last strategy, but that's my interpretation. This fourth strategy is about scriptural interpretation. Who has the right to interpret Scripture? What authority does any given person have to interpret Scripture? Is one person's interpretation necessarily better than another person's interpretation? I'll teach you how to use the answers to these questions to not only hold your own in any discussion about the Catholic faith and the Bible, but to also plant some seeds with folks that will cause them to really have to sit down and examine their belief system. One other thing we'll be doing in the next 4 programs is that we'll be opening and closing each of them with a simulated discussion between a Catholic and a Protestant, similar to what Catholics could find themselves in at any time. In the opening segment of each program, you'll see how these conversations quite often go, which is, unfortunately, rather badly for the Catholic. And then in the final segment of the program, you'll see how, using the blue-collar apologetic strategies, the conversation could have gone much differently. There you have a quick summary of the next 4 programs. I think you'll enjoy them, at least I hope you will. So check them out and see what you think. Well, we're running out of time for this show, but before we get out of here, I want to say something to those of you who might be saying to yourselves that this apologetic stuff is fine for priests or for ex-Protestant ministers like Scott Hahn and Jeff Cavins and folks like that. You know, people who really know the Bible, but you just know that you can't do this kind of thing. Well, let me tell you, nothing could be further from the truth. Yeah, it would be great if folks like Scott Hahn and Jeff Cavins and Tim Staples and others like them could spend a few hours talking Bible and the Catholic faith to everyone on the planet. But they can't. They can't reach the people you can reach. Do you realize that God has put someone, and maybe more than one someone, in your life who you have the opportunity to evangelize? Someone who you have the opportunity to share the truths of the